So first of all, I want to acknowledge everybody being here a couple of weeks back. You had a phenomenal rally. Yes or yes? Yes! Who was here at that rally? Amazing. I was here in spirit. I was actually, I was in Montreal. We had 100,000 people marching the streets of Montreal. And then yesterday we have at least 4,000 or 5,000 marching the streets of Toronto. So I don't know if you heard the news. Have you heard the news?
What now?
I know, that's the right answer. I love it. So since you haven't watched the news is COVID is cancelled. COVID is cancelled. Yes or yes? I love it. So Hugs of a Mask initiative started during end the lockdown protest in Toronto. We had the first protest in Toronto on the 25th of April. I joined May 2nd, and I haven't missed a single event. Every Saturday or Sunday, all across this country. I was here last month, starting our movement chapters here. I have a phenomenal team carrying on, which I'm grateful, and that's what it is, guys. This movement represents by thousands of people around the world at this point who's getting behind, opening people's eyes, understanding that truth has power. Truth has power, because as long as you plant the seed of doubt in somebody's mind with truth, and you only have to do it one time, it's going to resonate. And that's what we have working for us. The lies have to be repeated over and over and over and over and over again. And that's what the media and the government is doing. And that's why people put in a hypnotic state. They're completely stressed out in the fear propaganda. They don't even have a critical mind left anymore. That's why we have to be compassionate for those people. We have to love those people. Don't yell at them, take off your mask. Don't. You're not going to accomplish anything, right? They have a right to wear the mask, as we have a right not to wear the mask. Yes or yes? Freedom of choice, right? So Hugs represents humanity. It represents everything that's good about us. Children hug each other without even thinking, intuitively, because that's what we are. We're part of nature. Why on earth we're supposed to be fighting against nature? Viruses and germs are part of nature. Yes or yes? We have healthy immune system. And if you're not, you have to do everything to make it healthy. Let me explain it to you. These so-called sick care experts don't tell you. Masks don't boost your immune system. Social distancing doesn't boost your immune system. Isolation does not boost your immune system. Let me tell you what these experts tell you. Actually not, but I will. And I don't have to have a medical degree. It's a common knowledge. It's a common sense. Sunshine makes you healthy. Fresh air makes you healthy. Fruits and vegetables makes you healthy. Exercising makes you healthy. Being with other humans makes you healthy. Hugging people makes you healthy. Instead of 20 seconds to wash your hands, which you still should do anyway. I mean, we have parents that taught us to do that when we were 3 years old. We don't need the government to treat us like we're 3 years old. Yes or yes? Yes! We are adults. We know what to do with our life. But instead of washing your hands for 20 seconds, what we need to teach everybody is to hug each other for 20 seconds. So what I would like to see right now, and who's ever film it, please hug each other for 20 seconds. We're going to count together. Hug each other, please. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember 20. 5. Keep holding. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Yes or yes? Give it up for yourself. Guess what just happened right now? You boosted your immune system. You boosted your mental health. Let me tell you something that this government doesn't tell you. We have a real epidemic, a real epidemic of mental health issues. That's the real epidemic that the government should be spending millions and billions of dollars on. Let me tell you another real epidemic that's happening in this country and around the world. Epidemic of obesity. That's a real epidemic. Children are dying because of diet-related disease. Children get diabetes when they're only 10 years old. That's disgusting and horrendous that the government is not even recognizing that as a real issue. That's what children are dying for. 0 children died from this virus. 0 from the virus. which has not even been isolated by Health Canada. How can you test for something that you haven't isolated yet? So again, this is what we have to educate people with, that the real data is not presented by the government. They're brainwashing you and scaring you with a case demic. This is not a pandemic. This is cases demic. They create these cases out of nothing. People, hospitals are empty. How can you have empty hospital in a real pandemic? It doesn't exist like that. I'll give you another thing that you can pass on to someone as a question, as a plant a seed of doubt. Isn't that curious? Like, aren't you curious that not a single person died outside of hospital? If this is such a contagious and deadly disease, how come not a single person died outside of hospital? That's a real question. Let me tell you another sad statistic. 30,000 Canadians die on average every single year because of the mistakes made by medical professionals. 30,000! That's a real death we should be concerned about. And you want me to take the health advice from the experts paid by Bill Gates and all the other Rothschild organizations? Are you kidding me right now?
Common sense is the experts!
Exactly. When you have government and you have Forbes magazine making articles that shouldn't have critical thinking going on, you should really question that. When you have real doctors, practicing physicians being censored and erased from all the social platforms in a matter of 2 hours, you should question that. If people are so starving for the scientific and expert advice, why are they not able to access the alternative perspective? I'm not going to take too much time, I can talk all day. This is something important that you can tell people.
Keep talking!
Thank you. In anything in life, there's always two sides to anything that we do. Simple example, you drive a car, you can get in an accident and potentially die. Or you can get from point A to point B. Right? So there's two sides to the story. A knife, you can cut a bread or you can cut yourself. There's always two sides to any story. Isn't that interesting that this government, not even willing to admit there's a possibility of negative aspects to their measures, they actually dismiss them completely. Like what is that? This is what you have to tell those people that are sitting on the fence. And those are the people that we have to go after. I'll tell you this, guys, the movements are growing all around the world. You know how I know that? Because every single person that joins all the movements across this country and the world, they don't leave, they stay. And that's why we know we're gaining the ground. You know how I also know we're gaining the ground? When you have a fear propaganda created to protect original propaganda. That's when we know we're winning, because they have nothing else to talk about. Like, BlogTO made an article yesterday about someone having altercations about a pie being thrown on the ground. This is the only thing they have left to talk about. Somebody's pie got thrown on the ground because of our movements. Like, come on. We have real issues to discuss. Incredible. So guys, I just want to empower you. Talk to your people. Don't try to convince. Don't make people defensive. Just plant the seed of doubt and ask them questions. Instead of making a statement, asking them a question. Do you know what's the life expectancy in this country on average? 82 years old. Okay, yes. Do you know what's the average age of a person died supposedly from this virus? 86. 86. That's right. Now, do you know that in May, in this province, you had 56 supposedly dying from COVID? Wow. Why I say supposedly? Because the death certificates are fabricated all around the world. But let's say 56. In the same month, you have 170 people dying from drug overdose. So which real pandemic we have to spend all our resources in? That's right. This government is criminal. Yes or yes? Yes. This government is going to be held accountable. Yes or yes? Yes. And this is exactly why we're here today. Because you guys have unprecedented, a lifetime opportunity in this province right now. Why do you think they call the snap election? Because they don't want to be held accountable. They are scared. Because truth is coming out. You guys are suing this government, as the government in Ontario and the federal government and municipal of Toronto is getting sued by Rocco Galati. Give it up for Rocco Galati! Give it up for Vaccines Choice Canada. Those people work amazing hours. They dedicate their life for the last almost 40 years to educate the public about what's really taking place. And I have to be honest, I was even ignorant by choice because I didn't want to go too deep into the rabbit hole of the vaccines industry because it's so dark. It's so dark. Let me tell you something, and I want to bring other people to share their stories. This government, the federal government of Canada, proudly announcing that they extended contracts for the vaccines with additional companies. So now we have 3 different companies that are going to be providing vaccines for Canadians. And this is a side fact for you to understand. Every single vaccines company have been convicted of harming people. Every single one vaccines company have been convicted already harming people with their products. Why on earth are they providing more products? Amazing.
Zero liability.
And right now the government is proud to announce that complete extension of vaccines will provide up to 260 million doses of vaccines for Canadians. Trudeau openly says we're going to ensure that every single man, woman and child in this country will have available vaccines for them. We say no! We say not on our watch, not on our body, not with our children. This is our country. This is our house. And you have an amazing opportunity to make it your government. Because right now in the snap election, the push that we're making is to have the most independent delegates representing the legislation in this province. The whole legislature consists of 87 seats, guys. Your whole legislation of this province consists of 87 seats. At the point of dissolution of assembly right now, 2 was independent, 1 was vacant, 2 was for the Green Party, and then 41 for each of the seats between the Liberal and NTP. So every single new independent delegate in that assembly has a huge power to make a difference in the public policies of this province, guys. This is unprecedented, lifetime opportunity. So what I'm doing right now is I'm empowering as many people as possible to make sure that you can run. If nothing else, make sure you do everything you can to be a nominee in a district. We're gonna have people coming up right now. We have at least 10 people already running. 10 people! And we're gonna have some of them coming up and share their story. What you can do right now, you can set a precedent and you can put those politicians on check. Because when we're gonna elect the largest amount of independent delegates into the provincial assembly, we're gonna put every single party politician on check. Because we as people have the power. So on that note, I want to bring up the candidates that already are going, collecting signatures. They're already on the ground. And again, we have over 10 already going. I want to empower every single one of you. Either go yourself, help with the signatures, as well as we're going to need volunteers as well.